You know, Nick Cannon seems to be a master in marketing. One of his latest IG posts promoting an alleged new show has sparked over 67,000 likes and a fury of comments. We're going to dive into it today. All right, guys, welcome to Logic and Reason, where we discuss topics that impact society while looking to understand the logic and reasoning behind our actions. We record this show live, so each reaction is unedited and unfiltered. If that interests you, we invite you to slowly caress that like button and subscribe button. So, Nick Cannon promoting this new show on E! Called Celebrity Prank Wars. But we didn't see it introduced as Celebrity Prank Wars. That's really interesting. Actually, before we get into that, again, as another reminder, we said this already, but please like and subscribe. Very interesting. So I guess we're going to just get right into it then, shall we?
Yeah.
All right. So two posts were created, right? The first post was actually a video file, which we'll play right now.
Of all game shows.
Having my baby with Nick Cannon. You're gonna get some contestants that wanna have your baby.
We're not kidding around.
Eeny, meeny, miny. Let's go!
Who's Having My Baby with Nick Cannon, hosted by Kevin Hart. This spring, only on E!
Right. So that was fine, right? And then he posted the still image after that, and it's a still image that really got a lot of attention. So some of the comments we saw, they really took it as a joke. You want to read some of this stuff out?
Yeah, I mean, initially I kind of took it as a joke as well, but then I was here with some of these commenters. Someone said, I hope this is a comedy show and it's fake, like The Real Husbands of Hollywood, because, this is a lot. I agree.
Yes.
That was from Keep the Faith, 23.
Yeah, the other one I like too is Who's Not Having My Baby?
Oh, gosh.
That's another good one. Also, the other one that says Why I Need a Vasectomy. That's pretty interesting. So, there was some lightheartedness. I think people got it. Some folks didn't. I took it a little bit more serious note. And, I think Gracious was saying the comedy of creating broken homes, that people are going to love it, right? It kind of has an undertone of sarcasm in there.
Yeah, it kind of put a damper on things, or put a light on how this is also a problem.
Right.
And then, of course, you had some backlash on that. Someone named Harmony was saying, but how are you going to just assume the homes are broken? Which kind of went into a life of its own with more comments where people are explaining, like, a broken home from Desiree-licious. Yeah, she says a broken home is split. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that it was toxic, but nonetheless, that child and many children are growing up without both parents in one household. It's not funny. It's sad.
Yeah, so that kind of goes into some other themes. So, did you think this promotion was funny?
I initially thought, oh, this is clever of him. I don't know if funny. I guess it's kind of a slight humor, but overall, no. Because he has too many children by too many different women. He's not married. That's not really a judgment call. It's just him promoting that to the general public. I'm not really about it. So, for me, that's what that is. What about you? Did you find it funny?
Not my type of humor, but I find it interesting that he is a little self-aware of his actions have been kind of crazy. So, I mean, Kevin Hart and him go back. They've done projects before. Real Husbands of Hollywood was a really good show. And so, Nick has the potential of being funny, obviously, with his own personal show Well and Out. And he gets made fun of all the time. So,
oh, yeah.
It's not out of the realm of possibility where he's using this as an opportunity to make fun of himself. Says everybody makes fun of him. I mean, I make fun of him, right? And I'm a nobody. So, but is this a part of a deeper issue, right? So we're gonna play a clip here.
Future, who has 7 kids, and Chief Keef, who has 9 kids, then Youngboy with an army of 8 kids, then Nick Cannon with 12 kids.
Right. So we got a lot of celebrities, a lot of influencers with 1 million kids.
Baby mothers now?
6, 5 or 6,
6. 10 kids?
8,
8 kids.
3 for 1 girl.
3 from 1 girl.
Got 7 kids and 7 baby mamas. But I always tell these women that I got pregnant that I do not want to be a father to these children.
This always reminds me of, I forgot which quote this was, but this guy said, you're going to be a great single mom. So this is interesting because in the 90s, we had TV programming that was promoting family, right? You had Family Matters, you had the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you had Cosby's is more 80s, but
extended through, I guess, or is that syndication by then?
Syndication by that point.
Okay.
But you had enough shows that promoted a family. You had a dad who went to work and had a job. The mom was doing stuff. The kids were in school. And you had some funny moments and humor in the mix with that. I remember in early 2000s with Damon Wayans, My Wife and Kids, right? It's another show that was very similar to that. But that's evolved to this. We have P-Valley, right? Which is basically the story of a strip club in Mississippi, which is, the P stands for the neither regions, to put that lightly. Run the World. What is that show about?
Run the World. So Black women have voiced that they wanted a show of their own that was like Sex in the City. So they came up with this synopsis here with the 4 best friends in New York. There's extremely successful, overly educated, powerful, dating in the city, and they're just really best friends, loyal, and let me not forget from the actual description that they are unapologetically female and striving for world domination.
What is unapologetically female? What does that mean?
I don't know.
Like I'm not apologizing for being a woman. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to watch an episode or two before when it came out, and I think some of the woke comments where they're just, one of the episodes, the girl was going into a regular store and she was in line with just other people and started lecturing them on, how you speak to women and what the proper language and terminology, et cetera, et cetera.
That's very unfortunate.
If that's description of being unapologetically a woman, I guess.
You know what? This is interesting. So it says here on the very top that this is from the creator of Living Single and the executive producer of Dear White People. Living Single was a great show. It did feature a bunch of single women, but it wasn't, they were funny.
They were funny, and they were pursuing relationships, I think.
They were in Overton and them in St. Clair. That was a really good mix. And you had these different dynamics playing, but they weren't trying to lecture people. And I know for a fact, Dear White People was a full just on lecture. So it's weird how it's not weird. It makes sense when you combine a show that actually was good with garbage, and you have Run the World, and that's an interesting combo there. And then we have Tyler Perry presents Sisters, right? Because I love how Tyler Perry has to shove his name into every project. And this show is perfect for today, right? It's all about the single woman having such a difficult time with dating, right? Atlanta is such a hard place to date, which in actuality, yes, I've heard a lot of issues with dating in Atlanta. I think the main reason why is because there's more women than there are men, and some of those men happen to swing the other side of the fence, so it makes things a little problematic. I would just say that it might be advantageous for folks to move or import guys into Atlanta, but that's actually offering solutions. No one's really interested in solutions. So, to be fair, right, we do have or had a really good show in Blackish. I wouldn't put Blackish in the same category as Family Matters or Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but for a modern offering, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was a good show. Unfortunately, like you said, it's now over. So. Yeah.
Abbott Elementary is actually a good show. I wouldn't say I was surprised. I love that type of format. The Office and the Parks and Recreation, that type of format. it works for me. I love that kind of humor. Having it in a black environment is also super dope. So yeah, I don't have any negative things. I think the characters are great.
Yes.
Yeah, no problems there. My favorite one is the redhead chick. I love me a hood white person. I just have a sweet spot for them. So, but Bel Air, completely different show, completely different vibe.
Yeah.
I guess technically it's a family show, but it's not. It dives into some really interesting things. I don't know. I wouldn't. I still prefer the original.
Yeah.
So, why do you think that this baby daddy, baby mama culture thing is promoted among the influencer and entertainer circle?
Ooh. I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure. I think it's easy for them to do. I think some of them are actually living that lifestyle, while others, they're just finding ways to get attention. And they're able to do it because of the vast amount of money they have and time, and also because women throw themselves at the male entertainers. So
yeah, didn't we watch
and no self-control.
Didn't we watch something earlier about how this chick went to like 19 different concerts to try to get
Yes.
seen by Chief Keef?
Chief Keef's baby's mother. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, that is dedication. I mean,
Yep.
that's really putting in.
She was determined. I
She
think
was
she actually
determined.
said, "I wanted to be Chief Keef's baby mama."
Right, that was a goal.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would want that goal, right? Because it's not like Chief Keef is going to be around to be a good father to you. The guy lives a very distinct lifestyle.
Yes.
So I'm not sure how that's conducive to family building, but that was her goal, and she accomplished that goal, and you have exactly what you asked for.
Yeah.
Should this be a part of our culture?
Well, I don't think so at all. I don't think it should be a part. I don't think they should be the face. I don't think other demographics do this, like as far as promoting them as the face, because unfortunately, the rest of America we get lumped in as, maybe not having the financial resources as them, but as the entertainers. But as far as having that kind of lifestyle, or just being part of street, hood, nefarious activities, up to no good, and then young people follow it. So I don't think it has a place. I think they should do their art, and then people can support it. Music, comedy, sports, whatever. But as far as being part of the culture, I don't think so. What about you?
No. I mean, I don't think this is good for anybody. It was really funny. I was listening to a podcast. And the name escapes me at this point right now, but it's predominantly it was two Jewish people talking to each other about finances, and they were kind of going through some of the things that you need to do to be successful, and it was weird how they dropped that some demographics don't believe in family building, and that's a pivotal part of their culture and their religion, and it was just weird how they shouted out some demographics, and I'm wondering if that some demographics was black people. They didn't say that, but based off of the context that was said in the conversation, it would lend itself to go to that conclusion, and it's unfortunate because I guess to other groups of people, maybe that's the impression that they get. Maybe we don't have enough representation in our controlled media to actually showcase families, because maybe we don't value families. I mean, we used to value families. That was something that was heavily seen in the content that we were that we were responsible for. And I know families exist. I mean, especially at least in Texas, you can go all over the place and see families together. And so the media is not a true representation of reality, and especially within the black entertainment space, it's not a good representation of what's actually in existence in the country. You can't base everything off of Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta is one city, and there are black people in every part of this country, and especially in a place like Texas, you go to Dallas, you go to Fort Worth, you go to Houston, you have a bunch of black families together. Are there some people who are having issues with dating? Sure, and I think that's a young person problem. And I don't know. That kind of ties into I guess the next question is, what do we do to reduce the trend? And I think people, if I had to do a little checklist of what you could do to reduce the trend, I would say the first thing you would want to do is get off of social media, which is completely, an opposite thing for me to say, because we create content, right? So it's kind of like why would you say that? But honestly, I think a lot of these ideas are stemming from just bad actors promoting hedonistic, self-centered selfishness, and get the bag, do your own thing, be your own boss type stuff, distracts you from the stuff that's really important in life. And family is one of the most important things that you can do in your lifetime. I don't know, I would challenge you guys to do this, right? Talk to some old people, especially talk to old folks who never had a family, they never built one. All right, even if you got divorced some part in your history, you still have your kids that were produced from that union, and I think that's an important thing. The single mom thing, yes, technically, did you make a family? I mean, I guess, but there were a lot of things that were missing, and we can dive into this in a different conversation as far as the impacts of single mom households on, especially on boys. We might save that for a whole nother episode, but I do think we need to come to some conclusions here, and we need to really kind of come back together. The togetherness is severely lacking right now, and it's not just a black issue. It is an issue with everyone, but we do at some point need to address these things, and I think some of our content that we're creating is going in the complete opposite direction of that. That's my rant for today. You got anything you want to add?
Yeah, you guys let us know what you think we could do to reduce the trend overall, and any improvements or comments or questions you have for us, drop it down in the comments, and don't forget to, subscribe, like.
To like and subscribe.
Yes. Shake the notification
bell. Shake that butt. We'll see you guys in the next episode.